I'm going to try to get through this. Do you ever have a memory or just a heartwarming experience? You see a sight or a sound that brings you back to a certain point in your life. Well, it happened to your boy today. I was driving, and I passed. But try not to get emotional. I passed a group of maybe 12 to 13 hooded, you could tell, ne'er-do-well, smoking, actual cigarettes, kids, teens, and one weird girl who was kind of to the side of them. You could tell she's with the group, but not really, because they're scared of her even. And they were by this kind of sort of looking professional building, but it could have also been a professional mechanic's garage. And it had a name that let me know it was a crazy kid's school. And I just got all warm and tingly inside because I went to 3 crazy kids school. Listen, when I pass a crazy kid's school, I love it. I immediately know who you kids are. I see you. You all go to schools that say something like Ridge Hope or, Pathway or, Road to Hell, something like that. There's not that many of you. The most there's going to be of you is 50. The least there's going to be of you, there could be as little as 10 people in the entire school. I'm not even shitting you. I went to 3. Now, if you don't know, if you're from a different state or just have no idea what Crazy Kid School is, Chris Rock did a great thing on it. This is not my joke, but it's completely accurate. He said a lot of times they used to have them on public school grounds where there was a little section for crazy kids and they would get out an hour early. So in case they went crazy, then if they only hurt other crazy kids. That's completely true. I actually went to one that was on the campus of a real school and we did get out an hour early until that bit from Chris Rock. I could never figure out why. I'm like, why are they shoving us out at 1:30? Well, that's fucking weird. Fuck it. I'll take it. It's okay. But a crazy kid school is, I'm sorry, it's for the learning disabled. It's for, people who have intellectual difficulty. You just need a hug every now and then. Listen, that's what they tell you. That's what their brochures say. From my experience, after you are in a child psych ward twice, and because you really are just that, you are Charles Manson to them. You are just a behavior problem that needs to be studied and controlled. When you get out of that setting, other schools are not so keen to let you back into their little... You are too bad for public school. Basically, you've either gotten kicked out of a public school or public school does not want you. They cannot handle you. So you are with the worst people, the worst children of the corn that you could be with. And how I got into my first, I went to 3, I got kicked out of 2. I am proud. Was after I needed to find a school in order to broker my freedom from the second time I was in the psych ward. That's a whole different story. I could tell it if you want to. It'd have to be on JVTV too, because I don't know how much I can say legally. I think I can because this case got settled. But there was actually a case against my psychiatrist for putting satanic memories in people, and there was kids held hostage on that place. It was a whole news story, and these kids won a lot of money. I could do that story sometime if you want. It's a little lengthy. It'll be 20, 30 minutes, so let me know. Oh, it's a fucked up story. Okay, so anyway, I had to have a school lined up to be released so that I had a place to go during the day. Because at the time, my mom was sick a lot and she was in the hospital a lot. My dad worked. And so I needed to be watched. And, I could go home, but most of the day, keep the psycho busy, so he's not causing too much trouble. So I had to pick my own crazy kid school. And I realized that's what they were. The first school I saw, I will never forget this in my life. They drove me out to the middle of nowhere to show me this school, which looked like a house. When I went in there, kids were literally running through the hallways fuck you! I was like, what the fuck is going on? In the backyard, the slower ones were having a barbecue. They were just, pretending they knew how to put a sausage over a flame. I don't know, the other people were watching them. And there was 2 really built black guys that were there, whooped their little ass and they got online. But what I'll never forget, and what made me decide against the school, aside from the other myriad of things I just listed, was there was a bed. I'm not fucking with you. There was a bed way, way off in the corner with not shackles, but padded cuffs on it. And as a veteran from the Crazy Kid Hospital, I knew what that was for. That's for when you go into the QT with the quiet therapy room or whatever, where they, padded room, shut you the fuck up because you're going to yell, or you hit somebody. You go in there. If you start getting violent in there, they put you on that fucking bed so you can't do anything. And if you got to pee, you better hope you don't get, somebody's gonna hold your dick. It's not gonna be you if you're fucking being violent. It ain't gonna happen. So I said nay to that school, and I picked the second best one, I thought, which looked, when I came up to it, I remember it was like a picture perfect. So it was huge. And I'm like, wow, this is like a crazy kid school. Really, really focused. And the teachers or whoever they get the tour, the fake tour, I don't know what they do to the kids beforehand, dope them up with like Thorazine or like, fucking just cattle prod them all. But they're semi well behaved when you're there. It's not the real school at all. I guarantee you. If you're ever taking your kid there, you're not seeing the real school. They hide the real nutty ones. They probably lock them in the closet somewhere. But I went there, and the school, like I said, was huge. And I later found out it was attached to a college, which sometimes crazy kid school is attached to other things, but you're either way, way, way up top or in the basement of the fucking place. This was the basement we were in. And the school we were attached to, I will just say, we had, when there was gym time and stuff like that, that gym looked really familiar to me. I told one of the other kids, this gym looks really fucking familiar. Like, oh, because they shot 16 candles here. Oh, this is like a John Hughes school for like reels. Okay, and so maybe you could figure it out. But yeah, it was on that campus. And I'm like, this sounds great. This looks awesome. And then I realized we only had like the basement, and there was like 5 classrooms. That's the other thing. There's not really class. There's no class. There's shut you the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. That's all there is. That's all you're going to study. They try. They give you like stupid ditto sheets or whatever to like, 2 + 2 is 4. Fuck you. I'll kill you later. Just put your head down on the desk. I don't know, masturbate or something. Just leave me alone. There's scared staff. There's always usually 1 or 2 guys to like try to handle your ass because high school kids can get big and we're crazy. And sometimes we go crazy. And if you're going crazy on another crazy kid, they don't really care that much. But if you're going crazy on a staff member, they would get pissed. And you always called them by their first name. That's what happens in crazy kids at school too. There's no Mr. Jones, there's Cheryl, there's Doug, there's I don't know what that was about. Left the first school because there was a riot. No bullshit. Left the second school because, why did I leave the second school? Oh, because the bus drivers, also, if you go to crazy kids school, you're going to ride the yellow bus, the short yellow bus. Once in a while, the bus company will not have enough buses or something, and they'll send a real, like, high school looking bus, a long one, but it's only for like 10 or 20 kids or something like that. So like, fuck it. But the second one, I pissed off the bus driver's aide. And by the way, that's a bitch who rides the bus with the bus driver. So usually his girlfriend or something like that, or vice versa. And I hated this bitch. She's the biggest bully bitch. She would go around, the black chick, picking on other black kids, by the way. Yeah, but you gotta do, motherfucker, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit to me. What'd you say? One guy like said, oh, fuck you. She, what? They would hit you. They would literally beat your ass. Like, there was no cameras then, or whatever. This is the early 90s. And one day she just pissed me off. I never said anything. And finally I was getting off the bus, and I just started doing an impersonation of her. I'm like, I'll fuck you, man. I'll fuck you. And she's like, you get your ass back here. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get my ass back here, bitch. So I left. And I remember coming back to the bus that day. And when I got towards my bus, lined up in the bus line, I saw 5 dudes. Or like, maybe not 5, but like at least 3. In the back, so there were already like, I'm like, there's not already students on this bus, and they were all bigger black guys, and I seen her ass, and she fucked up, because I was still about to get on the bus. I get on towards the bus, and her ass leans out the bus, reaches for my arm, and goes, get your ass on this bus, and I knew right then I'm getting jumped, and I fucking got a teacher. I'm like, this bitch, why does she got 3 brothers on here? What the fuck is going on here? Jay, why are you causing? Oh God, it's Jason again. Get on the bus. Just get on the bus. The bitch told me to get on the bus. I told her to go fist fuck herself. I'm like, you get on the bus, bitch. What the fuck? Do you not see the 3 brothers sitting there? Do they go here? Do you know them? They're about 30. I mean, it's still possible they could go here. And this woman was so incensed. She did argue a little bit with the girl, like, well, who are they? Well, they're just my friends. Now he's making it up. They're just my friends. They're just my friends. We're gonna fuck you up. They're just my friends. And I was just like, what the fuck? And this bitch still wanted me to get on the bus. I told her to go fuck herself. I was never gonna get on that bus again, because now I couldn't trust I was gonna get jumped. So I wouldn't go to school. The bus came every day. I ran back inside and I slept. They could honk all the fuck they want. Finally, my parents were like, listen, what happened? I told them, I was going to get jumped. They're like, okay, probably didn't let her lie yours, but we'll do something about it. And the third one was my favorite school, because I actually can tell people that I did go to high school at Northwestern University. It's true. They had a crazy kid school on the campus of Northwestern University in Chicago, Illinois. I'm not lying. I would take a bus. First of all, they don't really want to send a bus that way. So crazy kids got, back in the day when there was tokens for the CTA, you would get like a roll of tokens, or a roll, like passes for the CTA bus to come wherever the fuck, whatever, bad hood you were from or whatever. And I wasn't really from bad hood, middle class, but like I had to take like a CTA bus. But It was the closest to normal school. I can't even say that. There was like 12 kids in the school. And let me tell you something about I could tell more stories if you want me to on all these schools. There's a ton. But my favorite of this one, the final one I went to, was I get there, my first day. And again, the first day is always hell because the other kids, it's like a hazing. They're figuring you out. They might fuck you up. They're not sure yet. They don't know if they like you. It's about, if you don't fuck someone else up, or just act the ass and I'm going to throw a book and piss on the floor because I'm crazy, they will fuck with you. They will fuck with you. And by the way, there is always that one kid at all of these schools I ran into who was quiet, never said a fucking word. And you didn't know what happened to them in their life, what kind of abuse they went through. But I knew from going to 3 of the schools and being in fucking psych ward twice, I knew this was not the kid to fuck with. And there were other kids who never learned a lesson. They push him on the head, and this kid would always let it go. This quiet kid they would always let it go, and they would always blow the fuck up out of nowhere and do the most damage. I saw this one girl throw a desk. She fucking almost tackled you. She's a little chick, but she never said shit. She just always did it. And other motherfuckers will always make fun of her and said, I'm like, you're fucking with the wrong bitch. You're fucking with the wrong bitch right there. That's the bitch you got to worry about. But I forget about this school, the last school, Northwestern, the prestigious Northwestern. I don't even know if it's there anymore. But I went there, and around noon when we had our lunch, I'm sure it's the same thing as prison food. Half of the class, like almost all the kids that were like, that I would even hang out with, left. Like, okay, guys, it's noon. You ready? You guys ready too? You guys ready? But the rest of me and the quiet weird girl and like 2 others were still there. Like, where the fuck do they get to go? They get their cigarette break. Excuse me? There's a cigarette break in that school because they did not want them to be without their nicotine and then fucking flip the fuck out. Now, you had to get patted down at the beginning of school and turn in your beeper. That's how old I am. Beeper, your lighter, your cigarette, your switchblade, whatever the fuck you did. You had like a drawer where you had to put shit. But you could get your cigarettes back to go have your cigarette break. And so I'm like, why can't I go? They're like, you didn't say you smoked. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know because it's school and everything like that. And that is why, honestly, I started smoking. I'm such a follower. But I wanted to go outside. Fuck you. So the next day, I remember I brought a pack of Newports from, there's always like the Hindu guy or, fucking, lowly, like white trash dude at some corner store who'll sell it to teens. I don't care. Like, I got my cigarette, I got my fucking, lighter, and I went there. I was so proud when I patted down the next day. And, you got cigarettes, and I got my cigarette break. And I got to stay out there and get to know some of the other bastard hooligans. And we had a cigarette break every day at noon. We did. And they timed it so that we had it with the inpatient adults who were, but for some reason they got to go free to have their cigarette. I mean, they weren't in a school. They were in a psych ward, like a legitimate, maybe they were junkies, I don't know. But we always got into it with them. Every fucking day it was us almost fist fighting with them about some dumb shit. Because they would say dumb shit, and then we'd say dumb shit back. And, it was a pissing contest. But, yeah, I just had a best memory. I smiled when I saw the crazy kids outside at the crazy kids school. I'm like, and there's nothing like Christmas at crazy kids school. Because they still make you go. You know that, right? It's true. I just had to share.